Hi everyone, it's Brian Lisenby from Lisenby Immigration Law, and we're talking to you today about evaluating your participation as a judge of the work of others in your field of expertise, either individually or on a panel. This is a really commonly used EB-1A criteria, especially in the research and science people with those types of profiles. And the main reason for that is because peer review opportunities tend to be a really great opportunity to showcase your talents and your skills in your field of expertise. And people write papers, and papers need reviewed. Um, so it's a fairly common criteria when people are preparing their EB-1A profile. Thus, it's really important to understand what is it that USCIS adjudicators are actually looking for, what is it they don't want to see, and what can set you apart from the various candidates who are also arguing this criteria. Um, USCIS officers are going to ask questions when evaluating this criteria, such as, was your opportunity to judge the work of others related to your field of expertise, or was it to some different field or area of expertise? Why were you selected? Was it a routine selection or was it a selection because of your expertise in your field? Was the opportunity to judge prestigious? Were you given it because of your extraordinary accomplishments in your field? What kind of press coverage did the event you judged receive? When judging for a journal, what is the impact score of the journal you reviewed? What were the participants in the various competitions you judged? Where were they located? Were they international? Was it an international group of people? Was it national or was it a regional event? And things like that. At the end of the day, what you really want to do when trying to elevate this criteria, you want to resolve those questions or similar questions that the adjudicators might have, but you also want to show that when you were selected to judge, that you were selected due to your high standing in your field of expertise and because of your outstanding contributions to your field. So it's really, really important that you look for ways that you can elevate your evidence that you share. For example, if you were selected because of your work as a peer reviewer, and I focus on peer reviewer at the start because I think that's a pretty common way to approach this criteria. If you were a program committee member, an associate editor, an editorial board member, or you were the lead judge at a competition or the head judge or something, you want to provide that evidence and showcase that you just weren't a participant in that event. You want to show that you were actually supervising or directing the judging at a high level. More selective venues that you do your peer review for, like in the software engineering realm, an IEEE or an ACM conference, or for really high tier scientific journals published by Elsevier or Springer or Nature or something. You want to showcase those because those are really prestigious high tier events or places where your papers are published and the review is going to require higher levels of review, and they're only going to trust the best of the best with those types of peer reviews. And so you want to showcase that when you're submitting your case to the USCIS. Invitation-based expertise invitations really help. So emails showing that they selected you because of your expertise, or even a letter from the conference from another judge or from the people who selected you to be a judge stating that you were selected because of your standing in your field and because your recognized contributions, that showcases that you're at the top of your field of expertise. So you really, really want to showcase those items and showcase that it was because you are the top. Anything that signals prestige can be a big benefit to USCIS. Um, Other examples of good judging that you can do would be and things we commonly see would be PhD dissertation committee member, master's dissertation committee member, a hackathon or a pitch deck, judging at a conference or a symposium, even something like conducting a job interview for as a board member for a company that you're not employee at or something like that could be a good way to showcase your work judging others. Participating as a music festival jury member, a judge at an artistic showcase, um, poster or paper presentation judge, editorial board judge, anything like that can work for this criteria as long as it showcases your standing in your field of expertise. Things that you have to include, and I think these are missed quite frequently by people and lead to an RFE. You have to provide an invitation that you were selected for the judging opportunity and evidence that you completed it. You need both of those things. That's really important for judging. Other things that can work for good evidence would be things like a flyer from the competition you judged, really good evidence from third parties about the competition that you judged, invitations, pictures of you at the competition, reviewing participants, handing out awards, etc. A thank you email for your participation, press coverage of the event or of you at the event, evidence of the criteria that were used to judge, especially if you developed the criteria, evidence that you were part of that process of developing the criteria for the competition, evidence of the impact score for a journal, evidence regarding participants at the competition. And just remember, if you're a judge at a high tier conference or event, it's going to be a lot more impactful if you show that it was peers that you were judging or PhD students. And for example, I'll sometimes get asked by people, does reviewing something like a high school science fair work? And the answer is probably not because you're reviewing the work of high school students. Is that going to showcase that you're at the top of your field? Probably no. Um, Even unless it was highly selective and you were picked because you're at the top, there are instances where maybe that does work. But if it's a routine high school science fair, probably not. If it's not routine and they select the best of the best, think like Nobel Prize winners or high level scientists in your field, maybe. But for the most part, it really needs to showcase that you're reviewing the work of high tier peers as well, others at the top of the field. Evidence about the prize or the award if there's a major award associated with the event. Participant details, a letter that discusses what was judged, how it was judged, the impact of your review, how you helped the competition, the number of competitors who participated in the event, the number of days, hours spent doing it. Sometimes can be relevant, sometimes not. The number of competitors that you personally reviewed, and the selection criteria for how they select judges, or just in general, again, just prestige, evidence of the prestige and the impact of the competition can go a long ways. As with everything else in EB1, you really are trying to document how this shows that you have sustained a claim and at the top of your field of expertise and that you are one of the world's top foremost experts in your field, one of the top percentile. And so you want evidence that shows that and showcases that. Um, just remember, as if with everything with EB1, this is part of a whole package. It's part of a whole um, group of criteria that show that you're at the top of your field for final merits purposes. And building out a strong judging criteria can be a huge impact in showcasing your overall impact in your field of expertise and can be something that sets you apart. So be careful when choosing what evidence is that you provide, and good luck with your judging criteria. Thanks.